Cinemacon well underway, and sadly, we're not there, and that is my own fault. But let's talk about what just exactly happened last night, because Sony had an amazing presentation. We still have a couple of presentations to go, 2 and 3. I'm excited to hear what that's going to be all about. But last night, Sony had a presentation. I'm going to do a separate video for all of the other things, but I wanted to single this one out because this is one of my most anticipated films of the year, and that is going to be Zach Cregger's Resident Evil film with Austin Abrams, which I am just like, I need it. I need it right now. Barbarian, weapons. He's going for a three-peat here. And I will tell you, what I've seen, what I've read already about this presentation tells me that, yeah, we're going to eat good, Resident Evil fans, because we got Resident Evil 9 not too long ago. Now we're getting the movie, and I'm telling you, once that movie goes over the stratosphere, we are going to be getting a ton more Resident Evil stuff. So we're eating good. We're eating good. There were dark times, but we're in the light now. So let's talk about what exactly happened. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. On the road to 50,000 subscribers. Resident Evil, Zach Cregger, first look. What the hell was it? So last night they actually did show a Resident Evil trailer, teaser, a first look, whatever you want to call it, starring Austin Abrams. This is going to be an original story that is set in the infested zombie game. The trailer starts out with Abrams' character stumbling upon an abandoned house in a snowy field, desperate to find a working phone. He frantically calls his girlfriend and apologizes for getting disconnected earlier and that they may never speak again. We then see shots of horrifying zombies fill the rest of the trailer, including a pale, bloated monster sitting at the bottom of a sewer. The biggest moment of the trailer comes when Abrams is running through a deserted street as a zombie horde chases him from the rooftops. It ends with zombie bodies splattering violently as the creatures plummet to the ground. So that gets me very excited. And one of the things that got me excited about this is that there is no connection really to the game, supposedly right now. And, you know, they always say that, and then there's going to be like an end credit scene with Leon. I don't know, I'm just playing. But I do love that it's sort of trying to distance itself away from there, because I thought it would just be boring to redo one of the games and do the whole story from the video games already, because we've seen it so many times. Do we have to see it again? I don't think it works, because a lot of people feel a certain way about the games. We all play games differently. We all get different moments from the games that hit differently for us. So I always think it's a bit silly to try and redo a story from a game instead of trying to use it as sort of the bones of it. So if this were to, let's say, be like Resident Evil, let's say 3 or 7, and it's just the overall story of what's taking place in other places, that's what I want. I don't need to see like a character like Jack come in, or a character like Nemesis be shown, or Mr. X even. Maybe like a little bit here and there, maybe on the TVs and stuff like that. But I want to see something new, something different. I want to see the world expand, the lore continue to grow. That's what I want to see. That's why I'm excited for this movie, because Cregger is saying completely different story. We're detached from the games, but it's still in the same sort of like realm. I got you there. So we found out a little bit more as well. We found out that in Resident Evil, Abrams will play Brian, a medical courier who unwittingly finds himself in a non-stop race for survival as one fateful, horrifying night collapses around him in chaos. So Cregger last night spoke to the Las Vegas crowd and said it is a big, scary ride, true to the spirit of the games, and he also shared that he has been playing a shitload of Resident Evil. Naturally, it's a cinematic game, he says. The atmosphere, pacing, resource management, and dread will be there. He also says that in comparison to his previous films, that he will not have no narrative acrobatics, time jumps, or disorienting chapter things. You will be locked in with a protagonist on a foot journey through a world hell-bent on destroying them, he says. And so that's pretty much what we are expecting here, right? Because we've seen Weapons, we've seen Barbarian. You know, those films are sort of presented in a way where like we go to the past, we go to the present, we're in the future, we go back to the past sort of vibe there, or we have these chapters that sort of give you pieces of the story, a bit disoriented, but by the end you can put it together. So it seems that this is going to be more narratively focused on just getting to a finish line, which I'm curious to see Cregger in that sort of realm. Now I think about it, we really haven't seen him do a film where it's just from point A to point B and how we get there, instead of being like, well, we'll start at point E, or we'll start at point C and then go to A and then go to B, you know. So curious about that. The film will be coming out September 18th. Very excited for it. I really enjoyed Abrams' performance in Weapons, so I'm excited to see him team up again with Cregger. And I cannot wait. Very excited to see what they do with Resident Evil. September 18th cannot come sooner. Is this potentially a secret screening at Fantastic Fest or an opening night film? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if the dates line up that well yet. It does in my head, but we'll talk more about that another time. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Are you excited or not? This is definitely sounding like a project that could potentially really push more of the video game movies. I know we've been seeing them a lot now, and it's mainly Nintendo that's really gotten the formula cracked down well. I mean, we just heard also that Bloodborne is being adapted into a film. I don't know if it's a live action or anime, but still, it's coming into the forefronts for the mainstream. So that's definitely a plus. But I'm still a little wary of them just seeing successes of Mario, Iron Lung, and whatever comes next, and being like, let's just do every video game. I mean, the Fallout show is great, but there's some other stuff out there that's we won't get into that. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're just here to talk about Resident Evil, Cinemacon, and all of that. Stay tuned. We're going to go over the whole Sony presentation in another video and discuss that. I believe we had a Paramount. We still have Warner Brothers, Disney, Neon. There's still a bunch of others that are presenting. So we'll be talking about that all this week. Don't miss out by hitting that subscribe button, notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is the goal. Let's get to it. I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe. Stay positive.
Resident Evil. And now, of course, that's based on the series of video games. You were very proud of having a different approach to your film that is way different from the other adaptations that we've seen. And, what can you say about that?
All I can say is that it is true to the experience of the games. It takes place in the world of the games, but most importantly, the journey you'll have as a viewer of watching this movie is going to be similar to the journey you have as a player when you play these games. And what that means is it follows one protagonist from point A to point B as they just descend deeper and deeper and deeper into hell. And as someone who's played, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of hours of Resident Evil, I just feel like I know how that pacing can go, and it's inherently cinematic. And I feel like there's a great movie that can live inside of this world and inside of that sort of pacing. And I'm just really, really pumped about the story that we get to tell here.